Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Yes, that's right, we're back again with another tier list. A lot of people have asked my opinion on how I'd rank legends after the latest changes in the Lost Treasures event, and I do agree that there have been a lot of changes. I'll start this video by saying, if you're playing casual or even ranked up to even say Predator, to be honest, there's not too much that matters in terms of competitive meta. You can pretty much play anybody you want. It's only when you get into scrims, tournaments, and ultra high level rank play that it actually really matters that much. So I'd say play somebody you enjoy. That's the most important thing. But with that being said, we're going to take a look at how I now rank the best legends in competitive play. This is competitive based, okay? I did make a video about who's the most fun legend to play, so I definitely advise watching that if you want to know who is more enjoyable as opposed to who is more competitively viable in the tournament meta. So I've kind of mixed things up a lot because I feel like my rating before may have not been as representative. There were a lot of A tiers and that didn't really make sense, but either way, we've ranked them from worst to best and also given each one a tier from C to S. So let's start from the worst and then make our way to the top. Now, of course, first we have Octane at C. Yes, he's a lot of fun. He moves faster now. The double jump thing is going to have some crazy moments and outplays and really cool trick shot moments. But in ranked, he still has no real viability for team play. It's really quite limiting, so I don't think we'll ever really see an Octane in the high level games, like proper high level tournaments. I just don't see it happening, honestly. Next, we have Bangalore, who is also in C tier. I've talked a lot about why I think Bangalore is good, and in past tier lists, I've always ranked her quite high, but ultimately, she lacks that repositioning skill that some of the higher legends have. I do think that Bangalore has some great repositioning potential, but obviously, a lot of the pros are a lot better than me, and they've made it very clear that Bangalore isn't such a great choice for high level play and you very rarely see it. Then we have Mirage as well, also in C tier. The outplays and bamboozles are great and that's a lot of fun, but the real kind of viability in high level play for Mirage comes to his invisibility whilst rezzing, reviving and respawning. Now, these things are not really going to be useful all the time, and it's kind of hit and miss whether it's going to actually work or not because people can just spray your way and potentially get you down. And I think that's why we still haven't seen any Mirages in high level play. It may happen in the future, but it seems very unlikely. Then we have Lobo, who is also in C tier. Now, Lobo's kit is pretty great, a nice repositioning ability with her tactical, her ultimate's really good for loot, her passive's really good for finding loot for your team. It would make sense that that would be a great kit for high level play, and I think it almost is, but it's not quite there. So nobody really picks up Lobo in super high competitive play. She really lacks that team play potential. I mean, she does have loot capabilities, but when you're in a fight, what can she actually do to help you reposition as a team or defend as a team? And there's not much really. Next we have Bloodhound in B tier. Now Bloodhound is the very first legend that you actually see a couple of these legends in high level play. You may see a couple Bloodhounds, and that's because of the tracking ability is just so strong. The ultimate is going to give you a lot of speed too, but it really is about that tactical. It's going to give you a lot of information about where players are, and for a really long time now, I think it's like 4 seconds that the scan stays highlighted of players, which is pretty crazy to be honest. I'm surprised we don't see more Bloodhounds, but as we get through the list, I guess it kind of makes sense because there's so many other legends that are more worth taking, and you can only take 3 legends per team. So next we have Lifeline, also in B tier. Now Lifeline's change is really great, and I really do think it's going to be very good for a better competitive meta for Lifeline. The ultimate drop's great. The extra loot that she can kind of pull together through all of the loot bins means more meds for your team, potentially better attachments. That's always great. And when loot matters most is in these super high level tournaments. So yeah, that's a nice change. It's subtle, but it's definitely there. And the new res feature is also really great. Being able to res somebody and also fight at the same time is really going to help out in tough situations. I think this is a change for the better for high level play. I do miss the fast heals on her, but like I say, that's not really team orientated, that's more of a solo thing, so in high level play it's not going to matter as much. Next we have Revenant in B+ tier. You're starting to see a lot of Revenants in high level play now. Now that the radius is gone, you have a lot of freedom to just run around, roam around and get potential kills and go back to safety if you get in a difficult situation. And Revenant pairs with another legend who's doing really well in ranked at the moment, and that is Caustic. You can put gas traps down on your totem so that when you go back, you know you got something safe to kind of return to. I definitely think Revenant's really going to become an important part of the meta in future games, and we'll start to see that in future tournaments. So yeah, Revenant's a lot more common than, say, Bloodhound or Lifeline in high competitive play, but you're still not seeing them as much as A tier legends. Next, we have Krypto, who is also in B+ tier. Now, Krypto is here now because he can destroy Watson ult, which is one change that was needed a long time ago, and it really helps to kind of break up the defensive based meta where a lot of players are taking Watson, setting up camp and just waiting for the ring and then repositioning safely, and that is just not going to be so easy to do without a Krypto that can destroy the ultimate now. So a really great change for Krypto. We're starting to see more Krypto players in higher level rank now. And Krypto's EMP late game can be really strong as well. So yeah, we're starting to see a lot more Kryptos. He's on the rise, Revenant's on the rise. We're going to see more teams playing these legends. These are the two rising stars in my opinion. Next we have Caustic, who is A tier. That changed to make it so teammates aren't slowed in. Caustic's gas is just terribly horrible for the meta in my opinion. I don't think it's a good change because it just gas spam is everywhere. You're seeing a lot more Caustic players in high level play now, and yeah, I mean the end game is just very smelly, and it's because it's really hard to negate, and the only way you can actually counter a Caustic is with another Caustic. So yeah, you can understand why more and more people are picking him up as a legend. Next we have Watson in A tier. Now yes, there is a counter with Krypto now, and her ultimates aren't quite as the same as they were before, but that defensive power is still really valuable in ranked, and it's going to be for a long time. The nerf was kind of a big one to her ult, but she got a small buff to it as well, so it's reasonably balanced now. Yes, she's not as good as before, and a few teams are actually dropping her now, but she still plays such a vital role in high level play. Now we have Pathfinder. Pathfinder is in this list despite having a nerf to its grapple cooldown and now having the nerf where you can't jump on zip lines as effectively. But the main reason for this is the recon ability. In ranked, this is so important. In high level play rather, in competitive high level play, this is really going to change the game if you can know the ring location, and that's why most people take Pathfinder. It's really pretty much just that. Obviously in solo he's a lot of fun, he's got a great hitbox and the grapple is really great, but really it all just comes down to his passive, so that is quite interesting, and he's kind of held on to that top spot now just because of that reason, because everything else about his kit has slowly become nerfed over time. Next we have Gibby. Now Gibby is such a defensive beast. He now is the only legend that has fast heal for the team when you're under the dome, right? So he can heal meds faster, and so can the rest of his team. He can res players quicker when they're under the dome. That dome is just an aura of protection, and it's going to be something that's really going to help a lot of teams stay safe, and as the rings get smaller and smaller, that's really important. And it's kind of the same situation with Caustic, where because there's so many more Gibbies in the game in high level play late game, that means there's tons of Gibby ults going down, and the only way to kind of defend against that is a Watson ult, but if you're on a field it can get destroyed, so the only other option is a Gibby dome shield. So once again, a Gibby counter is a Gibby, and he's just an all-round great legend to play, and he's got a ton of health, so he's nasty to go against. Finally in S tier we have Wraith. Now Wraith had a nerf, but it was more of sort of like a side grade, and I do wonder how that's going to change the kind of competitive opportunity for her, but it's all about the tactical, and the tactical is not as important in high level play. It all comes down to the teleport. Now the teleport is really useful for getting your team from point A to point B safely, and now that you can actually move faster whilst in the void and for longer, that actually pairs well with the portal, which means you're actually getting a benefit there. The portal is now easier to place at a further distance safely, which means repositioning is going to be easier, and repositioning in high level play is really important. You need to be able to reposition quick, get into a better location in the next ring as quickly as possible so no one else takes your spot. So Wraith is still S tier just because of that repositioning potential, and I know we've talked tons about why Wraith's good in solo or casual play as well because of her hitbox and her kind of get out of jail free card. Now that's changed a little bit, but yeah, like I say, this is all about the team play, team based meta in super high level play. So this is for those that are curious. This is how I rank all legends. Now remember, this doesn't really represent anything in terms of how you play the game, so just pick anybody you want, but For those that are curious, here is my list. Thank you everyone for watching. Let me know your own feedback by leaving a comment and I'll see you there. Cheerio! Did you know I stream almost every day from 7 PM UK time or 11 AM Pacific Standard Time? You can catch me live right here on YouTube, so make sure you have notifications turned on. I also have a new members program. Become a member for $2.99 a month, get your comments highlighted in videos, get a cool badge in live stream chat, get access to these cute emotes, and also gain access to my members tips videos, where you can ask me for any tips and I'll be making new videos weekly to help you improve your own game. Click the join button or click the link in the video description to get involved.